Hello, Stephen Berg here from the Century 21 Executives Berg Homes team. I'm just sat at home here in front of my computer reviewing the January statistics, and I've noticed three trends jumping out at me. So without further ado, I'm going to dive in and let you see what's going on. The first trend is, and I'm sure you're all aware of it, or will be over the next few days as the media starts to report on January's sales, that the supply and demand picture is definitely changing. So January of last year, we had a lot more sales and they were happening a lot faster and inventory was a lot tighter. We had specifically around 4 months worth of inventory on hand across the entire central Okanagan this time last year. And to explain that, inventory on hand is basically if we stopped listing any homes today based upon the current rate of sales, how long would it take us to run out of properties? So last year we were at 4 months, and actually some neighborhoods were down to under a month and a half. Right now we're at 14 months, and it's been creeping up every single month. November, December, January, we went from 10 to 12 to 14. And every day I'm noticing that there's 3 times as many sales as there is listings. It's not all bad news for sellers. I'll get to that later. But definitely that landscape of supply is changing, as is the demand. So sales were down about 60% in January versus the year before. And they were actually down from the year before that, just due to a shortage of inventory. So that's the first trend. Supply and demand is on the move, and it's definitely becoming a buyer's market. However, the second trend I've noticed is that there is a market within the market. So a lot of the homes out there that are listed are either unrealistically priced, still looking for that 2022 premium, or they're just not marketed properly and they're getting lost in amongst all the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of listings that are coming onto the market every week. So there is a second market within the market, and it's still pretty hot. So it's not all bad news for sellers. In the last week, we've had 3 sets of multiple offers. The deals that we've done in our listings over the last week have averaged 50,000 over asking, and we've had multiple bids on them all. So there's still a way to get action on your properties. It's not that it's all doom and gloom for sellers. And even for buyers that may be getting disheartened with all the amount of product that is asking a huge premium, there's going to be some gems hidden in there that just aren't getting noticed because they're not marketed properly. And you're going to find that if you look hard, you're going to find the deal still, even in a market with lots of for sale signs that basically have prices that are unrealistic. So that's the second trend. There's a market within the market that is hot right now still. The third trend I'm seeing is that the realtor you choose is going to make a big difference. The guys coming to me with strong offers right now are the top agents, and those guys are still doing plenty of business. And by top agent, I don't necessarily mean somebody who's selling a ton of homes. You know, we sell about 100 homes a year, but it doesn't make us, I think we are amongst the top agents, and our stats show that, but it's not because of how much we sell. It's all about how you work. So for instance, as I mentioned, for the buyer, a top agent is going to be able to find you that deal that nobody else is noticing because the home's not marketed properly. And if you're selling, they're going to make sure you're at a realistic price and you are being marketed really well, so you'll get top dollar. I'm looking at the January numbers, and because it is a buyer's market, as I mentioned in the first place, we're seeing that it's taking homes 73 days to sell, which is almost double last year, and properties are getting 95% of asking. So last year in January, they were actually getting more than asking price on average. I think the average was around $1,300 over, and some properties were selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars over asking. So it's not looking too pretty, but I looked at our sales for the last 3 months, and we're averaging almost 100% of asking price, and we're selling them in 25 days. So the agent you choose is going to make a difference. And I recognize that's a little self-serving telling you that, but I'm not the only great agent in town. There's definitely a handful of us out there that can do a super job for you. So that's January in a nutshell. Supply and demand is moving towards the buyers. There's still a hot market within the market, and be real careful if you're buying or selling to make sure you get a top agent to represent you. Thanks, and have a great February, and happy Valentine's Day to everybody.